Am I the asshole for bailing on a holiday my dad paid for after he embarrassed me on the flight?
My dad 52M had planned a holiday for him and me, 26F. He paid for the trip and gave me spending money. The plan was for me to fly over to meet him in his home country, to spend a few days with him and my granddad before we flew out for the 2-week holiday. On the day of our flight, he had a few drinks beforehand as he is a nervous flyer. I decided to stick to Diet Coke. Once on the plane, he took the window seat, and I took the middle seat. An unfamiliar man was in the aisle seat, and a family with a small child was in the row in front of us. Before the plane took off, my dad talked a lot about the physics of planes and what can go wrong. The man next to me told him he was going to scare me, but my dad just joked it off and continued. During the safety briefing, he talked over it and prodded me while I was trying to listen. He then started telling me how his ChatGPT says he's supremely intelligent, and he struggles because no one can keep up with him. He was pointing on the chair in front of him, and the mother politely turned around to ask him to stop, because it was shaking her daughter's seat and waking her up. He apologized, but a few minutes later he was doing it again. So she asked politely a second time. He then dropped his headphones and used the chair in front of him to help himself up, which woke the little girl up again. The father stood up and said, "We've asked you 3 times now. She's awake now. Please can you be considerate of who is sitting in front of you?" My dad then loudly shouted, "Fuck you," and went on a loud and aggressive rant. The other guy didn't entertain it and just said, "Are you done?" before sitting back down. My dad started ranting to me loudly and asked if I agreed with him. I told him, "I think you were harsh," as it was the most gentle way I could think to say it. He responded by saying, "How dare you side with other people over me?" And when I said I was entitled to my opinion, he said we could go on separate holidays. I angled away from him and put my arm up to block him from my view. To which he said, "Have you got your arm up to block me out?" I simply said yes. He then went to speak to the air hostess. While he was away, someone asked me if I was okay, and I ended up bursting into tears. I struggle to regulate my emotions due to borderline personality disorder and autism. The man next to me helped calm me down, and the rest of the flight was spent with him and I talking about books. My dad ignored me for the rest of the flight. When we landed, I booked myself a flight home. The man next to me and the family in front of us helped me get off the plane, collect my bag, and get to departures. I apologized to the mother, telling her that they didn't deserve to be spoken to like that. After I collected my bag, I got a text from my dad saying he was stranded, and that his wallet, headphones, and tobacco had been taken. He said he'd been robbed by the family in front of us, but his story didn't add up because he still had his headphones after his outburst. When I told him, "I'm sorry you were robbed, but you were unkind to me, and I didn't do anything wrong," he started ranting again. I walked off and haven't seen or heard from him since. I feel bad because he was excited for the holiday and worked hard to pay for it. I also feel sad if he was actually robbed. I eat her for bailing on our holiday.